ready for another lesson.
I was feeling real sleepy before I came over here, boys. I had to take a nap. Kind of did take a nap. I took one of those like 20-minute power naps, but I didn't really fall asleep.
Can't do those.
So. I can't pull those, dude. If I nap, that shit is.
I'm out
fucking...
for like an hour.
Oh, usually I am. I set a timer. Make sure I woke.
I have to set a timer.
Because it was like 5:40, and I was like, I gotta be out of here in an hour.
But there's little things better than an open-ended nap.
True.
A nap where you can just be like,
True.
I don't care.
Oh, wake up
And then
whenever.
when you go like out, like you sleep hard, a hard nap in the middle of the day, like you're laying in the sunspot like a fucking cat.
Yeah. You wake up and there's like possible drool.
Right.
But yeah, there's like a line on your face.
It's like you come out of there like
Your glasses are like bent.
you come out of there like Robin Williams at Jumanji. You're like, what year is it?
Your hair's all fucked up.
Like everything's purple still because you've been sleeping so hard.
The TV's on, but like in a different room. You're like, the fuck?
You don't know what time it is.
Oh my god.
Or if
You
it's
don't
the
know
next
what day it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's 8:30 p.m. or a.m. Bro, I had a moment like that because my sleep schedule's been so fucked since quarantine. The other day I woke up. I went to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at like 6:52
p.m.
I didn't know. Or I like woke up in the middle of the night. I went back to sleep because it ended up being a.m.
Yeah.
But I looked at my phone and I was like, does this mean I slept 15 hours or 3? And it took me a second, and then I looked outside and I was like, it's still kind of dark out, probably 3, and I went back to sleep.
I remember I flew to England, like did not sleep on the flight at all. Landed, went to my room, slept for maybe like an hour and a half or something like that. Went out that night, was out till like 4 a.m. and then went to sleep. I slept until like I lost a whole day. Like it was like 3 a.m. the next morning. Like I slept 16 hours. It was ridiculous.
Which, I mean, if you're traveling and you're changing time zones.
Oh, and I was hammered the
then
night before.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I know, for real.
You get acclimated a little easier.
We'll just make that part of the episode. Welcome to Back Row Banter, everybody. This is episode 8, Hot Takes.
Sit back, take a nap.
That rhymes. I like that it's episode 8 and Hot Takes.
Yes, sir.
Slant rhyme.
Yes, sir. So we just recorded episode 7, Prisoners. Please go check that out. Featured in the episode, I rocked Blake's world.
Oh yeah.
Rocked the shit out, or what is the
You
phrase?
shitted on my
Shitted on my existence.
So, just to be clear here, right? So obviously
it's in reference to the entropy list, which actually isn't a spoiler. So.
Right. So we were doing the entropy list we just did Prisoners last episode, and Adam here drops a bomb saying that he wants is it Blind Spotting or Blind Spot?
Blind Spot.
Blind Spot
is a TV show. With
Blind Spotting.
A girl with a lot of.
Where his original stance was that he wanted to put Prisoners below Blind Spotting.
Blind Spotting.
That's what Blake interpreted it as.
Yeah, and that was like full blasphemy to me. I was like, dude,
Blake dropped his head to
we
the
can
table.
debate anything, but I'm not gonna debate.
Yeah.
This is the most emotive I've ever seen Blake.
For real. I clarified, and I will clarify again. I liked Blind Spotting more, but objectively, I was not voting to put it below Blind Spotting. Blake didn't really let me finish that thought before he reacted.
Not.
So I was, and then I was like, no. Let me correct. So
I jumped to a conclusion.
Blake snapped a table leg.
Yeah, because objectively, I voted where I thought it should be, which is below Arrival. I maybe kind of thought it could have gone 3, but try to look at it objectively.
Yeah.
Which I still think it is ridiculous being below Arrival, but we'll continue on. I guess that could be a hot take.
It's a good start to the hot takes.
Adam went to the bathroom in between the episodes, and Blake crushed an entire cinder block with his bare hands. He was so angry.
So we're gonna do our hot takes. We should probably intro the show. I'm Adam Schwartz, your host.
This is Back Row Banter.
This is Back Row Banter. That voice right there is the Rev.
The Rev.
The Nathaniel Gingrich.
It's got a thing to it, you know. It's got a little sting to it, you know. I feel like you might like
guitar.
I feel like you come out of like your church in the Western, and you have guns, but you're a reverend. And you're wearing like a tombstone outfit.
Okay.
And instead of saying like "Who's my Huckleberry," I get to say "Who's my Rev."
That's true.
And you'll be like, "I'll be Rev."
Rev.
There you go.
But I only shoot people's trigger fingers off. I won't kill a man.
What? That's
like
incredible.
Pecos
Just
Bill.
have the inability to like make them not shoot anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy
Like
shit.
Pecos Bill and Tall Tales. Patrick Swayze. It's on Disney Plus, folks. Go check it out.
The man with the wild imagination over there is my boss, the cabin man himself, Tyler Vidalis.
The old cabin man.
The
Still
old
can't grow a
man.
beard. It's
The old-
unreal.
The old
Really
cabin
mad.
man.
Grizzly Adams.
You got more than I got, dude.
Yeah, that's
be
true.
Be grateful. You've
That's
seen me.
true.
You saw me in No
Your
Shave
emote in
November,
the
bro.
logo, you know, is a little hairless.
Yeah. Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, the reason I have sunglasses on is because I have no facial hair. So without the sunglasses, I looked like Slenderman. So I was like, I gotta put something in here.
He's just a guy with hair.
A guy
Just
with
a
hair.
blank face.
Just fucking
He's
Aryan as shit.
He's the place of the listener. They're allowed. They can imagine
Oh
themselves
my
there.
god.
Unreal.
Yeah, and also joining us today is the big cat.
Going Big Cat?
Yeah,
Big
Big
Cat
Cat Blake.
Big Cat Blade.
Big
I
Cat
like
Blake.
that one, guys.
Can you put like
I'll
a cat sound effects after that?
I'll have to come with a fun fact about some sort of big
Oh,
Big Cat every
time,
week.
yeah.
The Big Cat Blake. Big Cat
we
Blake.
So Big Cat Blake break.
to add on to the fun fact thing, so another one that just kind of comes to my head. So I learned recently that clouded leopards, I don't even know how familiar you guys are with
Dude,
it.
I'm all in on clouded leopards.
I'm looking.
Okay,
I'm looking
that's
at
phenomenal.
clouded
So
leopards.
obviously there's leopards that you see that are in Africa and Asia, then there's snow leopards, and there's
Yeah.
clouded leopards. Clouded leopards are much smaller. They're not technically big cats. I think the term is like a medium-sized
They
cat.
are like medium sized.
Yeah,
oh
I
my
think
God.
that's the correct term.
Look at
So
these things.
that's like the same thing as like those are medium-sized cats,
dope.
the same way like
Look at
bobcats are,
Yep, they're
and
dope.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they actually
Like
have
a lynx.
They're like
Yeah,
a
like
dog
lynx.
sized
Yeah.
cat,
Yeah.
basically.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, like
and I
lynx is a
think
great
they
example.
they have the
Underrated
largest
animal.
canines.
Super underrated.
Is that the
Yeah.
correct term for their
Yeah.
canine?
Canines?
Yeah, they have the largest canine, obviously in proportion to their size. So
So they're like
the
a
most
Any
close-
animal?
Oh my God!
They're like
look at
very
these
close
things.
to sitting into like saber-tooth
Saber-tooth
tigers.
tigers.
Yep,
That's
I
what
was
I was
gonna
gonna
say.
say.
Holy fuck!
Wow.
They're
Where did
huge.
they go?
I have no
I think
idea.
they sink in.
I'll
I
have to
think
have
the
that
top
talk next
ones
week.
sink into the bottom one's jaw,
Oh,
and then
jeez.
there's like I'm pretty sure that's actually how it
Yeah.
works.
Can you
But their
imagine
teeth are
getting, like,
massive. But yeah, they're not that big. They're
I
probably
could be
only
30
I
pounds.
could be 100% wrong and just sound like an idiot, but I'm
No, I think they got teeth sheaths.
something like that, dude. They got
Wouldn't it be
some-
dope if they like retract,
Bro.
like a viper?
That'd be kinda cool.
That'd be a cool like.
But then,
would
but
be
then there's holes
terrible.
for but there are holes for these teeth to go in. Correct? We're agreed on that.
I think they're either.
I
either
don't-
holes-
I
even
don't
if they
know,
retract,
yeah.
I think
it's like in their
I think they
gums
might
type
be
thing.
just inside
Yeah.
the jaw.
that might be along the gums, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
that-
our canines don't have
Right.
a hole down there.
yeah,
Well,
but
that's
ours
my
are small.
that's my fun fact for Big Cat.
Thank you.
Stay
Thank you,
tuned.
Big
I'll have
Cat
another one
Blake.
next week.
That was the big
I
cat
actually
Blake
enjoyed
break.
What's up, all you cool cats and kittens? It's Big Cat Blake here.
Big cat Blake's break.
Oh
There
my
it
Cat
was.
Blake break.
God. This is Back Row Banter, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna do our hot takes. Big Cat Blake over there might have to head out soon because he actually has a job and I don't. So he has to go to bed soon.
Well,
We're
not
chopped.
to
Right,
say.
we're all of us here are
Jobs.
employed besides you.
Yeah. And
but yeah.
so he has to go.
So yeah, I'll just kind of jump into it kind of
Yeah,
quick here.
let's get it going. We all brought to the table 3 hot takes.
Right.
We defined it as unpopular movie opinions that somebody may kind of get offended by.
Yeah,
Almost.
and I don't necessarily know how hot these takes are going to
Sure.
be. All 3 of mine happen to be about horror movies.
Okay.
But my first one is that found footage horror fucking sucks. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I just can't stand them.
Okay.
Does anybody have any disagreement with that?
Like
I
you
feel-
talking paranormal activities too?
Yeah.
Or you talking shaky cam?
Yeah. Are you talking like Cloverfield?
We can throw that in. I guess that's found footage. We can because that's like security footage,
Yeah,
right? So
right.
we can throw that in there.
Yeah, and the Cloverfield was the other one I was gonna bring up.
Yeah.
Do you mean the Blair Witch sucks?
I think. Okay, right. So the original one, no, like that's like a.
Yeah.
That goes into my second hot take. So okay, so we'll say
Or is there is there a specific found footage film that you were just like, I fucking hate this one?
I would say this one. So I would say, in my opinion, the only one that stands out to me is like, okay, I genuinely think this is a really good horror movie is probably the Creep series. And those are found footage.
Yeah, all right.
And I would probably take those away. It's like, that's my Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Right, of found footage. Those and everything else is definitely.
Really? Okay. Yeah. So, like, do you not get scared by the paranormal activities
I think it has a lot to do with. I feel like the replay value on found footage. Movies isn't as high.
That's cool.
Just because it's not as cinematic.
So you rank your horror movies with replay value built into them.
A little bit, yeah. I would say stuff like you would have to.
Cool. I would say sometimes, like how it ages.
That's a fair requirement to have, I think.
Right.
I think
because like if you like look at our entry for this, right? Like Arrival's probably not going to age as well as Prisoners because Prisoners was, and this isn't like this is
just a hot take.
I was gonna say,
but
I see where you're going.
Arrival has more CGI in it. It's got more of that sci-fi factor that is constantly evolving. Whereas like Prisoners, it's a set detective thriller.
Right. That's timeless.
And there's no CGI. It's always going to look like how Pennsylvania looked in that time era. So like that's a thing.
And one of the countries in Prisoners or in Arrival might not be there anymore.
But yeah, so that's just kind of one of those.
So found footage movies out.
Yeah, outside of Creep.
Outside of Creep.
I love Creep, man. Okay. My second one, and like you said, that went into Blair Witch, so that's obviously a 90s horror movie.
Yep.
And I said that 90s horror was horrendous, probably until Scream, which is like 97, I think, or 96 or something like that.
I'm struggling to come up with anything.
And that's kind of the same thought I came to. I was like, yeah, that's definitely...
Scream was a big turning point, for sure.
I honestly,
96.
I can't recall too many horror movies before that in the 90s.
Maybe a Candyman?
You're probably right. That's probably 94,
yeah.
95.
But
or
I mean,
like that.
yeah. I mean, that's not definitely the popular horror movies
95.
from that era. Were not nearly up because that was when your Freddy's were struggling. Your
right, because they're like
struggling.
on the sixth Freddy movie at
that time. I think it was 80s horror hangover. For the early part of the 90s, and we didn't really know what to do with it at that point. I think I'm with you on that.
Right, there's a handful
so
that
maybe
I
that's
maybe
not
could
necessarily
look
a hot take then.
find that I think were really great, like Misery.
Yeah,
1990, but like I wasn't old enough.
Yeah,
and maybe that's a bit of a factor. In the 90s, you were a little bit younger, so maybe you weren't like thinking about it the same way that you think about it now.
The I Know What You Did Last Summer is
I like those movies, like guilty pleasures.
No,
right?
but the urban legends, the Bloody Marys, those are just trash from that era.
Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow is controversial take. Sleepy Hollow, I don't think is that good.
No, I don't really think it is either. But yeah, so I guess once we
you
come to agree, that might not necessarily be a hot take, right? That might just be the truth. My other one would be, and this could probably come to realization that it is the truth. That's obviously up to you guys. Is that the first Halloween remake? So the Rob Zombie one, that first one, I love that movie, and I think it's a really good. I think it still stands up to this day. I can watch it anytime. That goes into the replay value, you know what I mean? And if I'm ever going to put on a Halloween movie, that's probably the first one I'm going to put on now.
Oh, really?
Is the Rob Zombie
I don't think it's
remake.
that good. I like it. I don't think it's that good. You know? Okay. I love Zombie. I'm a big fan. I'm a big Devil's Rejects fan. But
is that the first one of those movies?
No, first one's House of a Thousand Corpses.
Okay, that's what I know.
Devil's Rejects is miles better than House of a Thousand Corpses.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, he's definitely got a distinct vision. I don't know. You would need to convince me that Halloween is better than the
most recent one.
The most recent one, though.
Yeah, that's tough.
Which I don't think it is.
And honestly, I don't think I can plead you on that. You know what I mean? This take is 2 years too late. You know what I mean?
Sure. So if I gave you the option right now between the 1970, the OG, and the Rob Zombie one, you going Rob Zombie just for like. I would
probably say for right now today, yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to kind of watch him. What's the first one? Like 1970 something.
Yeah.
That's kind of hard to watch. Like I have to be.
I think that's a hot take
to watch something like that.
I think that's a hot take that you would gravitate 09 Halloween versus
probably
for 1970s Halloween.
Probably.
Did you see 09 or was it 09? It's like
I think it's 07.
Oh yeah, somewhere in
the second one is 09. The second one is terrible.
Is it? I never saw it.
The second one is really bad.
Yeah. Did you see the zombie version first?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But that's just kind of one where I have like a vivid memory of going to see that.
Just
with, like,
in
me
the
and
right
my friends
spot,
in
yeah.
middle school. Yeah,
Sure,
like my
for
dad
sure.
took us to see it.
2007.
Yeah, I mean, so it kind of sits. Okay. It kind of sits with me well. But yeah, if I had to choose between watching that one or the 2018 one, yeah, I mean, the 2018 one's definitely better for
I
me.
don't know if I've seen the Rob Zombie one.
Really?
I have it. We can watch it at some point.
I'm in.
It's not bad, man.
It's cool. It's rock star Halloween. It's like if you gave the 1971 a Monster Energy, that's the 2007.
It's crazy.
That's
and
cool.
yeah, some of the kills are super good. The scene where they're in the forest and he like beats the guy with the stick, who's like calling his mom like a
It's
prostitute.
just a
It's really
club.
good. Yeah, it's crazy, but I don't know.
I love he attacks
I like
the guy on the wall.
Yeah.
That's my favorite bit. Which you see in the original,
Yeah.
and I think you see even in the 2017 one, but you actually see him do
Yeah,
it in
yeah,
this
yeah.
one.
But yeah, those are kind of mine. I think the bigger take one is that found footage is definitely.
Yeah, that's a
Alright.
cool
That's a
one.
bold take. For
Yeah.
sure.
I like
Alright.
that.
That's a bold take for sure. What do you guys got, man?
So I asked to
Nathaniel?
go second.
Yeah.
Do you still only have 2?
Yeah, but I can come up with something.
Alright.
We'll figure it out.
Lit.
Or if you think of one later on, just
Get
go
it.
ahead.
True.
Throw it in.
So Jennifer Lawrence is film's equivalent of Cam Newton.
Sell me on that. Obviously, I'm big on football. Sell me on that. I think I know where you're going.
I mean, she comes out early days. What's her first one?
Hunger Games. She
No.
broke out-
Before
Winter
that,
Bone.
Winter's Bone, like early on, like wins the Heisman. Like comes out, is hot and fresh out of her younger years. I think does a great job of Winter's Bone. Gets a lot of really good buzz around her, and then does Silver Linings Playbook, makes it to the Super Bowl, gets down to the Oscars, and then it's just been the same since then, or demonstrably worse.
Have you seen Red Sparrow?
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
awful.
it's I think it's bad.
It's
It's
Well,
bad.
yeah.
so
If I'm ever
Awful.
going to put on one of those female spy movies, yeah, I'm
Sure.
certainly not putting on Red Sparrow. That
It's
movie
so
fucking sucks.
bad.
Yeah.
It is
Speaking of Jennifer Lawrence,
actively bad.
have you guys seen House at the End of the Street?
Yeah, that was
I watched that probably
Yeah.
within the past maybe a handful of months. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
That
It's
was
kinda
right
mine.
before she got huge.
Yeah, but that movie sucks too.
Yes.
So, I mean, so
I feel like
I'm with you.
I feel like she plays one role and
Mm-hmm.
she plays it really well. She like we were talking about earlier, but I just think it's just so like I'm done with it at this point. And I think anytime she tries to go outside of that role, it just doesn't work for me.
Well,
And there's been some like wild
Joy.
ass shit
You
in
seen
there,
Joy?
like X-Men.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Joy's the same.
So how do you
the same
guys
to
feel
me
about her
as
playing
Silver
Mystique?
Linings Playbook or anything like that? As what?
I'm sorry.
Mystique.
So how do you guys feel about her playing Mystique in X-Men?
I honestly forget she's Mystique half the time.
Hilarious.
Like I forget that's
Okay.
her. In my mind, it's always Rebecca Romaine.
Yep.
But I forget in those movies. I
She
literally
is.
forget she's in those
Yeah.
movies.
I
And
like
she's
her.
in probably what, like 4 of those movies, 3 of those movies.
Well, so like
she's barely in a couple of them.
Yeah.
She's in First Class.
She's first class, and she's good in first class.
Days of Future Past.
Apocalypse
I think
And she's in Apocalypse.
and the newest one, Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, but
which
I
I
haven't
heard
even
was
seen-
dog
I
shit.
haven't
for like
seen that
3
movie.
seconds.
Yeah.
Like she's so over all of those movies in there. But anyways, yeah, I think she just plays the same role now, and I think she's kind of overrated.
Passengers, another really random one.
Yeah, don't like it.
She is in that.
Yeah,
I like
her and Chris Pratt.
her.
Yeah, I
Katniss
totally
Everdeen.
forgot about that movie.
She's good in that. I think
I like
she's
Hunger
really great.
Games.
I think she's awesome in Winter's Bone, and I think she's great in Silver Linings Playbook. But ever since then, it's just been the same thing.
I would somewhat agree with that. I don't think she's had a good. She really hasn't had that good of a movie. I would
Mother's
say.
terrible. There's a hot take. I love Requiem for a Dream, but Mother's a dog shit movie.
Yeah, that movie sucks too. For sure.
Like, and it's art house take.
People
to
like
the-
it though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've got good friends who I respect a lot that love it. I think it's just
Who we lost respect for.
no, but it's just it's a dog shit movie.
I'm just trying to start shit.
Yeah, I would say fair enough. I think we're
Yeah.
all kind of in agreement on that.
What was my other one that I had on here? Wrong password. Where'd my note go? It was Gravity should have beat 12 Years a Slave for Best Oscar the year that they both.
What is that? 2012, 13?
2013. Yeah, they both came out in 2013. I want to say the Oscars. would
Because
have been in
Gravity, that's the
2014.
Sandra Bullock
Sandra,
one, right?
yeah, the
that's a
Sandra
good
Bullock
movie.
one. Yeah.
Dude, Gravity was
Yeah,
a whole another level of
yeah.
Yeah,
tension.
Just like the
Yeah, your heart's like
Technically, I think as a film, I think in long term, what it's going to be looked back on, I just think it's a better film. But the 12 Years a Slave is not a bad movie by any means, and it's always kind of controversial because it deals definitely with some difficult subject matter.
Sure.
But I just think overall Gravity is the better film between the two of them.
Agreed.
What year was that? I think 2014.
13.
Well, yeah, they came out in 2013, but the Oscars would have been in 2014.
But that was yes.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. But yeah, that's my one. I don't have a third hot take currently, unless it's that Mother is a crap movie.
I'd agree with that though. Yeah, that movie sucks, man.
Yeah. It was just marketed wrong. It was marketed as a horror film, and it's not.
And it's not.
It's art house cinema to the nth degree, and I think as art house cinema, it's not a good movie either. But yeah, go ahead. Anyway, and so I'll come back if I come up with another hot take. But those are my two big ones.
Yeah.
Right now.
All right.
So Jennifer Lawrence's films, Cam Newton,
Hilarious.
and Gravity.
That sentence is just funny to me.
That's so funny.
That was
That's so funny. If you think of like where Cam Newton is in his career and where he's been,
Yeah.
He's on the Patriots, baby.
it's very funny.
Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
And that Gravity should have beat 12 Years a Slave.
I liked Gravity.
I love Gravity.
Gravity's good. Yeah. I haven't seen it in a while. It's a good movie though. For sure.
I mean, like, think of like, not like so much of a silent film, but the way that the silentness,
Yep.
They
use
builds
sound. Yeah.
tension. I mean, like, I look at movies that have come out recently, like A Quiet Place.
Yeah, I was just about to
and
say.
like where that is and what
So
that's
good.
done for like silent movies for the most part.
So, quick question on then A Quiet Place. Then, have you guys seen that since the first?
I
time?
haven't.
We watched
I
it
haven't.
about-
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
We watched it about right when I moved in.
I watched it on my phone
Yeah.
probably like 3 or 4 months ago.
Really?
When Carolina was like passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat there and watched it on my phone.
Really?
Yeah. I
have
Because
it on
I
4K.
saw it in theaters, like release date, super good, and it's been on Hulu for an incredibly long time. And every time I go to click it, I'll watch it, and then I just end up turning it off.
Really? Yeah,
I think it's because I don't get that. Not watching it in the theater, like you're missing so
I
much.
was gonna say
of
if
that.
you it being in a theater was a very
For sure.
portion of
Going to
And I
why
don't-
I love that movie.
For
so
sure.
much.
I don't think it. Yeah, I think for guys like us that are big into horror, there's extra things that we look for that we take from, or that movie just isn't as scary to us.
Yeah,
And so it doesn't hold our interest as much just because we've seen so much more horror.
Yeah.
out there.
Right.
But I think the you see this every now and then, and there are kind of generations of movies with this where they break out to a mainstream audience and they're terrifying to the mainstream to the mainstream the everyday moviegoer.
Yep.
Mainstream's such a dirty word nowadays, but yeah, I think that was one of those. But for like guys like us, the replayability may not be there, which is like
it's
you
hard.
said is a big thing for you.
Yeah. But yeah.
This was your take. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm taking over.
Oh
again.
no, you're good. You're good. You're good. I mean, we could talk all day about hot takes. So I got some 3 pretty decent ones.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Iron Man 3 is not a bad movie.
You know,
Iron Man.
Nathaniel and I are not going to disagree. We've talked about
Iron Man
this.
3 is a great film.
It's
Okay, so then, so we'll elaborate on that more. So you're saying Iron Man 3 is not a great movie. So then is
No,
there
I'm saying it's a great movie.
Oh, it is.
I
a
love
movie.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
It's a
then
good
let me
movie.
ask you this, and so then, where are you putting that then with the other in the trilogy of Iron Mans?
I think it's number 3,
Oh,
but
okay.
it doesn't
So
mean it's
they
a
just
bad
all
movie.
happen to be good movies.
I think
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
1, 3, 2.
I agree with that. Yeah, I don't think 2. I think 3 is a stronger movie than 2. 2 falls apart a little bit for me.
Yeah, 2 is just 2 is zippy and fun, and like again, it's not a bad movie.
Yeah, I don't dislike 2.
I think the Iron Man trilogy is
And-
probably the strongest.
Captain America.
Captain America's. Yeah.
The second one is.
But I
is-
tell you what,
the second one is.
I've
is-
seen-
is the
I've
epitome of Marvel to me.
I've seen Civil War
Sure.
too many times at this
Love
point,
Civil War.
and it's Civil War's a bland looking movie.
It is.
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
It is.
It's not
That's not-
flashy looking.
And the Russo brothers in particular don't have the greatest cinematic eye. They do action big and well, but their colors are always a little bit off to me. But that being said, yeah, number 2 is awesome.
Okay.
I think for me, the Iron Man trilogy is always going to be number 1 for me.
Yeah, I think they fall into place.
So
I think it's 1, 2, 3 as far as how they rank up.
How about you, Blake? Where do you put them?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. So then, like, walk me through the Iron Man. So is the third one? Is that the one where like he meets the little boy and he like helps him build it?
Yes.
Okay. And the second one is
That's the Russian guy comes
with like the whip.
It's
Okay.
It's Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke. I bumped my boot.
Yeah.
I
And like, hello, it's the intro to our show.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's true. Iron Man 3 does introduce our show every week.
Yeah, it
if you
does.
guys haven't picked up that Easter egg
Some
yet.
people
I
call
won't
me
fight
a
that.
terrorist.
I won't fight that.
I consider myself
No,
a
a teacher.
teacher.
Next one. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna maybe want to hurt me for this, but you're wrong. The whole Harry Potter versus Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings better. Get over it. You'll never be able to change my mind. And maybe that's just because that's what I grew up with versus trying to grow up with Harry Potter. I did watch the movies and then I read the books. Maybe that has something to do with it.
For both franchises or just
No, just for Harry Potter.
Okay, so
I
you
read Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit way before I saw the movies.
Okay. Before the movies came out?
Yes.
Or, okay. Cool.
Yep. So yeah, maybe that has to do with it, but Lord of the Rings beats Harry Potter all day long.
Why? What do you like more about Lord of the Rings than Harry Potter? What do you like about
I don't know. I guess maybe a little bit is the fantasy versus like magic.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a little bit more of a
Swords and arrows.
yeah. I don't even know if it's that because I mean Harry Potter's got its action like its fair share of action shots.
It does, yeah.
But yeah.
And like it's funny because like you look at like some of the scenes that are very similar, like the troll cave in the first one, and then you look at the troll in the bathroom where Harry, Hermione, and the redheaded stepchild are all fighting the.
Ron.
Oh yeah, that's his name. Are fighting the troll in the bathroom, and so yeah, there's some similarities and stuff there. But yeah, I don't know. You're wrong if you think Harry Potter's better than Lord of the Rings. Period.
They're neck and neck for me. I can't really.
I like both of them.
I can't really separate one.
I'm not
versus
saying
the
Harry
other.
Potter's bad. I'll watch all 8 Harry Potters in a row, sitting on the couch while it's snowing outside, and with a candle lit. And, like, it's a cool vibe. I'm in. But Lord of the Rings is just better.
One of my good buddies actually texted me earlier in the day. Shout out Nick Sadoff. I think that's 2 weeks in a row because he gave us the review last week. But he said his hot take was, because I told him that we were doing this, his hot take was that the latter Harry Potter movies and Game of Thrones owe a ton to Lord of the Rings
100%.
for their cinematography and their kind of color grading on there, which I thought was an interesting take as well.
I could see that.
But I agree.
I would say, I mean, we can talk about Harry Potter a bit here. I think I think Order of the Phoenix on are collectively better than before the first 4.
I think
that style, they shifted tone, they shifted to David Yates, that's his name, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they kind of had a stylistic tone that matched all of them, whereas the 1 through 4 changed drastically between them, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell by Harry's hair.
Yeah.
I mean that you can tell. You look at the cover of each movie, you're like, all right, it's angsty Harry in 3 and 4, and you know. So yeah, I like those darker, almost grittier. They got a grittier tone to them and a more real tone, darker tone to them, and I think that's the direction Harry Potter needed to go for those books because they do get a little bit more mature and darker, and I think that shift, I like that a lot. So.
yes.
That's not like a hot take. We were talking about Harry Potter and kind of.
Yeah, for me, the third one is easily far and head and shoulders above the best film in that franchise.
It's tough for me. I love them.
I think
good.
Yeah, Cuarón shits on Yates as a director every day of the week.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. 3 is very good. It's definitely
Hot
probably
take.
1 or 2 for me.
Cuarón's probably maybe my favorite director. So
Okay.
that'll I'll go to bat for him.
About that.
No. But yeah, I think that as a film is better than any one of the last 4. That being said, the last 4 are definitely the best of the franchise outside of that. I think my favorite might be 7 Part 1 behind 3. That might be the best film for me.
I like 7 Part 1. Mm-hmm. Going back and rewatching it, I like what they do with it. I think my favorite
because it's like a character study more than it is.
Yeah, it is. I think the 8th one is my favorite just because there's so much good payoff, especially after you read the books and you understand. I mean, the books are just going back and watching the movies. The books and the movies are just not even close. Like, the books are so much better, but I still love the movies.
Yeah, 100%.
Which I think is a majority of book to movie conversions.
If you ask any of my friends, I was just as much of a Lord of the Rings friend as a Lord of the Rings fan as Harry Potter fan too. Like those were my movies, man. When I was a kid,
bro, I got like weapons and shit on my bed.
Yeah.
I got like replica shit.
I can like learn the Two Towers and Return of the King video game on GameCube. I could like 100% those in hours.
So speaking of Harry Potter, so you guys might kill me for this, but I've never seen a single Harry Potter movie. I think I might have told you that.
I think we knew about this.
I think they're all on HBO Max now. If you ever want to dive,
they're leaving. Actually,
how many are there?
They're leaving
8.
soon.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So I mean, less than Fast and Furious, but more than Lord of the Rings.
Well, do you count Hobbit?
No.
Still more than Lord of the Rings.
Fair enough.
True.
What else you got?
Yeah, you got
What's
one
that,
more
your
side?
third?
No, my third one, which a lot of you might not have context on, but I'm a big Frozen fan.
Okay.
I'm like that's my little Disney in me. Frozen 2 is better than Frozen 1.
I haven't seen Frozen 2 yet.
Haven't seen the second one either.
Disrespectful.
No, I disagree.
The first one is good though. So, I mean, if like I said, I haven't seen the second one, but yeah, you said the second one's better than the first one. That's hard for me to believe. I've never seen the movie.
The only reason I think that though is because of like obviously I'm not a kid, I'm a grown up, and I'm watching these movies, and I think the second one plays and caters more to an adult versus a child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they make more mistakes though that are just like, well, that doesn't line up with that character, what they were doing earlier. Like they just, I feel like the Frozen 2 just makes a lot of decisions that I don't necessarily agree that the characters end up in a better place at the end of 2 than they are at the beginning of 1 or at the end of 1. If that makes sense.
Like there's no outcome that really changes.
Well,
I
mean,
seen
can we spoil this?
No,
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I would imagine. I don't know, because I would imagine a lot of our listeners probably aren't going to watch. There's
a character that makes a decision. Aish asked not to, so I won't. There's a character that makes a decision that I
plan on watching this eventually.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yes, I know.
Go. You can watch it tonight.
Maybe I will.
There's a character that makes a decision in the second one that I think goes against where they kind of ended up at the end of the first one.
Okay.
Sure.
And I think there's a couple different just storytelling choices. I was like, that doesn't help or not. But I see what you're saying. It looks better.
Yeah. 100%.
Visually, it's stunning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Visually, Frozen 2 is 100% better.
Especially on an OLED.
Yeah. Especially on an LG or Sony OLED television for sale at Best Buy and other Best Buy locations.
But specifically Schaumburg.
305, baby.
I don't want to know where we work.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Do you want me to cut that?
No, I don't really care.
Beep it. I want it beeped.
All right, I can make that work.
But yeah, those are my 3. Take it or leave it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Hot takes.
Blake, where are you on time?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Right now, I'd say I'm fine. We're
I
doing
think
pretty well.
my last hot take would be that there's no such thing as a guilty pleasure. You just like the film you like.
Okay.
And just own it. Like I don't.
Yeah, I think the only reason it's described as that for most people is because most people probably hate that movie that you like.
Right.
Nut up.
And I'm not
Stand
saying
behind
that
it,
like
folks.
some of my guilty pleasures I don't even like.
Yeah. Do it.
What?
Just like what you like, folks.
Yeah. Ninja Turtles, the original ones, live action.
It's dope.
They're great.
Yeah.
Suck my ass if you think otherwise.
So it's not a guilty pleasure. It's just pleasure. Just pleasure. My new podcast.
Just pleasure with Nathaniel Gingrich.
The Rev.
The Rev.
What are you working with, Adam?
All right, I'm gonna save my juicy one for the last, which is probably going to be the most controversial
He's been
one.
hyping this.
Yes.
As long as
Because-
the last one is in blind spotting over prisoners.
Blake physically punches you.
Blake just explodes. All right, I'll start with this one. Logan is not only not a very good superhero movie, it's like overrated. It is a actively bad movie.
Well, you're wrong.
Oh,
Wow.
That's a hot take.
I think you could probably wrap up.
Yeah, that's a hot take.
Show your work, Ish.
Why do people like it so much? What is there about that movie? It's Hugh Jackman just grouching around the whole time carrying fucking disabled dementia Sir Patrick Stewart, and then some kid shows up that doesn't talk the whole movie. They wind up in Vegas. They wind up on a farm.
You just don't speak Spanish.
You're right. I don't speak Spanish.
See.
What?
You just never heard Spanish before.
It's annoying, and I just did not enjoy
Visually
it.
didn't do anything for
Visually,
you.
I mean, they had some good shots, but it's just a lot of gore.
That ending doesn't get you?
No.
Man.
Well, as you heard from the last episode, nothing gets past Detective Adam Schwartz over here.
Yeah.
I guess not.
Super sleuth.
That's good. But I mean, I would say from a fundamental standpoint,
Above average detective age.
I would say from a fundamental standpoint, I think most people enjoy that film probably more than they should. Not saying that it's a bad film, because I think it's a good film.
It's just so...
Specifically because it is rated R.
Yes.
And
I think that was part
right,
of it.
and that gets you so much more into it, right? You know what I mean?
I just think, I think
go watch Deadpool. Like,
Logan's much better than Deadpool.
It is a better movie for sure, but if I had to put one on, just if I'm going to turn some shit on, I'm turning on.
Yeah, I
talk about a
think
guilty pleasure. You know?
Yeah, but I
think
think that's because
Logan-
you have to pay attention to Logan a little bit more.
Logan is a better film.
Without a doubt.
Which is why you
100%.
want to sit there and watch
And
it.
Logan is it's I think easily the best X-Men film.
I think I would probably agree.
You don't like Days of the Future Past?
You don't... Yeah, you
I
don't
think
like
Days-
First
I think-
Class?
I think Days
Dude,
of-
Days of Future Past.
Days of
X-Men
Future Past.
and
First Class I
is
like a
good.
lot.
Yeah.
I think Days of Future Past is nothing to me. It's milquetoast. Like
Really?
it's lukewarm.
I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it.
I
That
just
could
don't
probably
know.
be a hot take.
I just don't know if I was out on it at that point. It's Bryan Singer too. Like he's just such a he leaves obviously a bad taste in my mouth too. He's just an asshole, and I don't want anything to do with him.
Okay.
I refuse to see Bohemian Rhapsody. If you're unaware of what I'm talking about, Google Bryan Singer and find out why. But allegedly, but just protecting the pod there, boys. I think Logan's easily the best.
Okay.
Some people put it as their favorite or think it's the best superhero movie of all time.
I think that's
the
what
Dark
you're-
Knight still exists.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think that's what you're more angry about than anything.
Yeah, I think that's a really bold claim.
No,
and I don't think
that's a
it's
bold
right.
claim, and that I don't like. But I also just don't think it's that good of a movie. And I think it's honestly almost a bad movie.
Then can we all agree then that the Dark Knight is the best superhero film of all time?
No.
It's my favorite.
No.
I think it's the best.
What are we possibly putting above that? I know that's off topic, not to cut you off.
Best superhero movie. I mean, look at fucking Endgame. Are you kidding me?
But that's cheating, dude. That's 26 movies.
Yeah. No.
No, it's not.
One single film. I mean that. Yeah, but
No, because
Okay,
then
look
you're-
at that
because
objectively.
Then
Hang
you're
on.
gonna, then
No,
you're
no.
gonna say like. Then you're gonna say like
Now we're talking.
then you're gonna say like Iron Man is wrapped up into Endgame and it shouldn't count against that when you could easily take Iron Man as a one specific
As a
superhero
standalone.
film.
Right.
And,
you have a
and put it up
trilogy
against that.
versus 26 films. I don't think that's a fair
You
comparison.
can't. No, you can't count 26 films as Endgame.
You're saying
But
you're saying Endgame the
let's say-
film is better than Dark Knight the film.
Yeah.
Where do you lie on the topic of best superhero movie?
Like hang on. If you watch Endgame,
And maybe that's because I'm like very Marvel heavy versus
Yeah.
DC.
Okay.
And I don't think that Christian Bale is the best Batman. And some people might disagree with that, but there's a lot of things that go into that. Heath Ledger is obviously the biggest thing of that movie.
yes,
we
but
can all,
I
we
think-
can all agree on
Okay,
that. For
so
sure.
then let's call it a Joker movie.
but it's also Christopher Nolan's directing. I think it's well directed, well shot. The cinematography's good. What's his face? Is Harvey Dent is pretty good.
Aaron Eckhart.
Yep.
Plus, he's not even a superhero; he's a vigilante.
All right. Well, again, are we defining this as best or favorite?
We said best.
Best.
So you think Endgame is the best superhero
No, I don't think it's
movie?
the best one. I don't know. I'd have to run through that. There's a lot there. I don't consider 26 films as Endgame, so my format of movies is a little different than Adam's, but
I just think it's cheating to have Endgame, which if you watch Endgame without watching any of the other Marvel movies, you will not know what's going on. If you watch Batman: The Dark Knight as a singular movie, It does enough to set up its characters. You know who Batman is.
Yeah, but that's
I
like saying,
probably agree with
but
that.
you don't
You know
have
what
to
I'm
watch Iron Man to understand Endgame.
I think it's a handicap on both sides. The experience of The Dark Knight will not be the same if you're not set up with Batman Begins beforehand.
I guess.
And
But I'm just saying.
Endgame obviously plays on.
I'm just
on the
saying
25
it's.
films that come
Yeah,
before.
exactly. I just think Endgame it leans too heavily on all these.
You're saying
seeing all
as
these
a
movies
film.
before. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just me personally. I love Endgame. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if the payoff is great. But it's. I think what it makes Endgame for me is the payoff of 25 movies before it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what
It's
I mean?
satisfying.
Exactly.
Right.
And a dope action scene at the end, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because I care about these characters because there's 25 movies I've seen over 12 years of my life that's building up to this. That's why it was so rewarding.
Yeah, but you could
But
watch
not just
Civil
because-
War and still understand where you're at the end of Endgame without watching all the other movies before that.
Well, that's why that's why Civil War is like my second favorite Marvel movie, and was for a long
I
time.
think-
Honestly, might be my favorite Marvel movie.
think
Love Civil War.
Dark Knight is overrated, but I think it's probably
No.
the best superhero movie.
It's not overrated. Take that back.
I won't.
So hang on.
So
So
hot take.
you're saying that, so you think in the grand scheme of things it's an overrated film, but you think it's the best superhero film?
Yeah.
Okay. I won't argue with that.
There we go. All right, back to my list.
This is what hot takes are for, ladies and gentlemen.
Sir.
Debate.
All right, here we go. Kylo Ren.
Is that Star Wars?
Yes.
It is.
Okay.
So yeah, so
I don't have
Blake's
any
gonna-
more.
Yeah.
Blake's gonna have to
The
Blake's
take.
name
gonna go
sounded
home.
familiar though. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Tyler's
Tyler's
little
moving.
Cairo.
Listeners, for those of you who don't know what just happened to your ears, that was Tyler playing his stuffed Kylo Ren, like a Woody toy.
I don't even know where I
with
got
a
that
voice
thing.
box.
I was just wondering where that came
I don't
from.
know. I don't remember. I actually think maybe Rob got it from a mystery box at C2E2, and
Like a loot
I
crate or
just
something?
decided to keep him here. So
Kylo
dope.
Ren is the best villain in Star Wars, and one of the best villains in movies. Period.
get the fuck out of my apartment.
So before you guys even
What?
go into depth on that, because I don't have any more to say in that conversation, because I don't know anything about Star Wars, but my knowledge of Star Wars is so minimal that when you said, what was the name?
Kylo Ren.
The person who I thought of was the main character in the new Star Wars, who's the woman. That's who I thought you were talking about.
No, that's right.
Oh, that's Rey.
But what is her last name?
She doesn't
Well,
have one.
that's one of the big mysteries.
Skywalker.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. But yeah, like that's when I was like, oh, I wonder if he's talking about that person. And you said a villain. I was like, okay, by no means am I thinking of the right
No,
person.
yeah. One of the big things is her finding out what her name is, or choosing her
Who
name.
her family is,
Yeah.
basically.
Solo.
Who knows? Could be anything. Could be Maul. Ray
What?
Maul. Ray Watto.
Yeah, Kylo Ren's a badass, and he has.
You're
best
wrong.
You're
100%.
you're so far
best
out of this
character
world
arc.
wrong.
What?
I just
No.
love.
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
100%. Darth Vader would take Kylo Ren,
And
literally break him in
shred
half.
him into fucking pieces.
I didn't say he was the strongest person in Star Wars.
You said best.
Best villain.
No. Do you know that
I'm
when
not.
they were as a church they were building in DC, and they needed a symbol for evil, so they asked several high school and elementary schools around the area what their figure of evil was. They went with Darth Vader. There's a church with a statue of Darth Vader on it next to saints. Where's Kylo's saint statue?
In my bedroom, bro. I got a Adam Driver cutout. I love that man. Part of me.
He's a beefy
Part of me put this
side
down.
of,
Okay.
of wall.
I will be honest. Part of me put this down because I knew this was gonna get these reactions, and this gets
You're just
reactions out of a
trolling.
lot of people. I'm trolling a little bit.
Trolling.
Obviously, Darth Vader's a great villain.
Feeding the trolls.
I just after seeing Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, let me explain this a little bit. After seeing Rise of Skywalker, I think his story arc over the sequel trilogy is fantastic. He's got real conflict that you see play out, and there's just a lot of it, and he kind of comes around eventually. And I love Adam Driver. I think he played it really well.
Mm-hmm.
I just really like Kylo Ren. That's more of the hot take. I just kind of phrased it because I knew it would fucking get you guys
literally
going.
just explained Darth Vader. You just haven't paid attention to the other movies. He has a very evil
No, I have.
start.
No,
and
I fucking hate the prequels.
Finally turns around
I fucking
later.
hate the prequels. No.
You're terrible.
No, he's
not
just
the prequels, the originals.
Okay, so
The original-
can I
Darth
ask this
Vader
then?
has the same story arc that Kylo Ren goes through.
Yeah.
And he did it first and he did it better. And he's way more evil. And he's such a better villain.
And he's James Earl Jones.
And he gives zero shits about the galaxy. He just wants to own everything. And Kylo Ren's like, I got problems.
I don't feel
I got
that.
family problems.
I just personally don't feel that way about Darth Vader. I don't know why.
It's because you're a baby.
Maybe.
He literally he kills a bunch of kids. He kills a bunch of kids.
Yeah, because he's an idiot.
No, because he's evil.
Is he a human?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he starts out one.
Okay. So are all the people in Star Wars, are they humans?
No.
Just so annoying.
There's lots of aliens.
Maybe-
Technically,
maybe
they're
part of
aliens.
But like,
It's
I'm
an
saying like
entire
the people
universe.
who look
Like us?
humanized.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're humans.
The humans? Okay.
Yes.
I think.
They should be.
Okay.
I don't think there's any like. I mean, I
Unless
guess
you
we
wanna
could look up a
argue.
bunch of lore on it, but
Unless you-
Right.
Sure.
I was just curious.
but like a Jedi is somebody that's born
There's
with like
certain-
extra abilities that's attached to something called the Force, and they're tested on these things called midichlorian levels and all this other stuff, and we can go really deep
I was
into
gonna
this.
say, 10 of our
Um,
listeners are just screaming.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
My brother hates me for this too.
The one I like or the one I'm fighting?
the one you made up with.
But probably both of them.
Yeah, probably. How's your sister feel about it too? Are you alone in this family?
No, I'm very alone in the world. I don't think anybody else would.
Alright, so have you ever thought that maybe just you're the problem?
Probably.
But Darth Vader is just a way better character.
Yeah, no.
He's way more evil. And
But he's
such
human
a-
as well, though. Darth Vader.
Well, so yeah, there's a big fight that happens, and he ends up getting some limbs cut off, and they become like cyborg pieces.
Okay.
And his lungs are burned by lava.
The medical field in Star Wars universe is very advanced
Okay.
Long time ago.
in a galaxy far, far away.
Like I said, I phrased that very trollingly. Obviously, Darth Vader is great. I just really, it was
You
more
said
of,
Kylo Ren's the best villain of all time, which is an insane take.
That's why I did not say the best villain of all time.
I believe you said just Star Wars.
the best in Star Wars
Okay.
and one of the best villains in movies ever.
Okay.
What's your?
Which is still an incredibly false statement, but
Yeah, he's a good
Yeah.
villain. But he's not.
I
He's
like
not
him.
the best in Star Wars.
I just like him a lot. That's basically it. But I just phrased it to piss people off. It's hilarious.
What do you have after that? Because it's like you guys are going
This
to come
is-
to an agreement.
This is the big.
yeah. So this wasn't even his big one.
Oh my
That-
gosh. Let's see what we got.
I'm ready for Blake to just lose.
I'm hoping.
I don't think Blake is gonna. I don't know if Blake is. Pulp Fiction is not as good as everyone says it is. It is, and I just don't understand why everybody loves Pulp Fiction so much after watching it
When'd you watch it?
a few years ago. It's been a bit, like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, Pulp Fiction's.
I can kind of get on board for that.
Yeah, I think
I think it's a little bit.
it's one of those movies
It's
that
one that I
exists-
get a lot of. That's the one, my go-to hot take that people.
It's the one that
vehemently disagree with.
every bro loves.
Yes.
Like, I think
Yeah.
It's Tarantino's broiest movie.
Just in
Right.
general, everybody loves that movie. I'm just like, why?
Yeah, but it's also one of those movies that like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I've seen that, and now I can talk to you about movies.
Exactly. Right. It's like
It's the one that it's the first poster you get in film school that you put on your collar.
Yeah.
on
Right,
your, on your
right.
tour.
Yeah. It's just
I can
so
see
my critique on this movie is that none of the characters change by the events of the movie. Like none of their lives really changed that much.
I mean, some of them are dead.
Yes, but okay. John Travolta, his character, he dies.
Yes.
Spoiler for Pulp Fiction.
if we're spoiling Pulp Fiction
but
right
they
now,
talk.
then
Him and Samuel
doing it
Jackson.
wrong.
yeah.
Him and Samuel L. Jackson have a conversation about how he's going to be, how Samuel L. Jackson basically wants to move on from his job, and John Travolta's like, I don't see a problem with staying. You kind of get the vibe. They talk about death and stuff, right? But it's been a while since I've seen this movie, but this is the conversation I kind of remember having. And so you kind of get the vibe. John Travolta was going to die regardless of Bruce Willis. He was eventually going to die if he kept working for this mob boss, basically. So yeah, I don't know. And then Uma Thurman nothing happens to her after that little story. You know what I mean? Like the first, when they go to the diner, that first like
Where
piece,
she's
whatever you call
revived
it.
from the adrenaline shot to the
yeah.
chest.
What nothing changed for either of them after that. She doesn't die, and there's no repercussions on John Travolta's character. and then the movie just kind of moves on from it.
There's no repercussions from the John Travolta character. He dies.
Not because of the events with Uma Thurman and stuff.
Oh, okay. I think you're looking for the plot to tie in a little bit more tightly, and that's not what that film's about.
Yes, it's very well written, which is what a lot of people like it for.
The thing about Pulp Fiction is that it is organized by dialogue.
Yes.
So scenes will happen that the time that are out of sync with one another, but your context is found in the way that the dialogue has set up the rest of it.
Yes, I know.
And that's the great breakthrough of Pulp
Yes.
Fiction. Most people, I would
see
say,
all of that.
I think most people, or the people that give it a bad name, are the ones that only see it as this kind of exploitation, wild Tarantino film, when it's a lot more subtle in kind of what makes it good and what makes it so critically, and just no one has seen it anything like that before. But the thing that gives it a little bit more is I think it's just got an extra layer of assembly that elevates it above kind of other stuff. Because we've seen these time out of joint or multiple storyline movies before, or interlocking stories even too. But I think this one's just kind of famous for doing it with a certain panache, I guess. Would be
the people that are in it.
Okay, and I will say, like, I don't think it's a bad movie by any means, and I still like it, and it's still Tarantino, and it's got good writing and all that, and I love Samuel Jackson. Like there are things I like about this movie. It's just it's not the classic that everybody pretends it is, in my opinion. I just don't think it's that good.
Well, you don't like any movies before 1970?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was after 1970.
I know.
I can still like that one.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that.
It's not my favorite Tarantino.
Yeah, no,
I don't
absolutely
think
not.
Any
It's
of
not,
ours.
yeah, I don't think it's any of ours.
I think a lot of people go. It's like a go-to like classic.
It's a basic.
Yeah, I just don't see it.
Fair enough.
I think Tyler hit it on the head, like you said. Like that's movie. It's like, okay, that's one of those movies where you can introduce that and like, okay, we can talk about movies.
Sure.
You know what I
Kind
mean?
of,
It's
yeah.
very. You can go into the mall. You can
It's
find
kinda-
shirts with Pulp Fiction on it.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
most commercial movie you can possibly find at this point. So I would disagree.
100%.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I had. Do you guys have any more hot takes you maybe came up? Any more you want to debate?
I mean, we could talk about this Darth Vader Kylo Ren thing all night, but
Again,
It does sound like you guys can go on about it. I don't think I got anything else for you guys.
And yeah, depending on if you guys like this, we might do another one of these at some other point too, guys. Or maybe send us your hot takes at some point.
yeah, or what you agree on, what you don't agree on. If you think we're stupid or smart,
I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of hate.
you're gonna get lit.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you want to let him know,
Put it in the comments.
write a 5-star review and address him in that, and I'll read it out to him, and I'll even pretend to be you. I'll do a funny voice or something.
We'll shred them.
Yeah.
That's fine. As long as you give us 5 stars, I'll sacrifice mine. All right.
Bring us home, Adam.
Yeah. Follow the or share the podcast. Share it with a friend. Share it with an enemy.
You know what we did not bring up last episode?
What is it?
Is what we're doing next week, and people should really get on it. Because
I can edit.
You can do a take of it later. But yeah, next week
I'll edit it.
we're reviewing American Pickle, folks. We did it in one of our trailer talks early on.
Mm-hmm.
It's being released on HBO Max.
This Thursday, I believe.
And it's
The
Seth
6th.
Rogen. Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen, baby.
It looks
twice.
it looks very funny and charming. Not to like.
It's gonna be our first comedy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Blind Spotting and never mind. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Blind Spotting, and King of Staten Island.
Yeah.
But this is more comedy.
Yeah, we started on a comedy.
Yeah, we did. But this is more. You know what I'm trying to say. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah. Also, none of us have seen this.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that.
So it's gonna be exciting. But yeah, so just that for you if you want to watch along with the Back Row Boys.
The Back Row Boys. Okay, yeah, now I'll do. Share the pod. Share it with your friends and family. Word of mouth is key for podcasts. It's how it gets spread often. It's how I get a lot of my podcasts. And we would love it if you share it.
Yeah, we'd be very appreciative of that.
Very appreciative. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, please. We need Nathaniel to read more things out. at the end of our shows.
You can say whatever you want, just gotta be 5 stars.
Also, if your only way of watching this or listening to this rather is YouTube, please subscribe.
Yeah.
And you can also leave comments on YouTube.
That'd be great too. Follow the pod on Twitter at Banter Row. On YouTube is Back Row Banter. And our Instagram is Back Row Banter Pod.
That is correct.
And backrowbanterpod at Gmail is where you can find us for any of your questions, comments, concerns, or grievances regarding the show. Send it our way. Our inbox is empty. Except for that damn Miles Teller.
Son of a bee.
Son of a bee. Blake, where can the people find you at?
Letterboxd, man. Same as always. Go on there. You'll see me reviewing some stuff. I cannot review any YouTube big cat information on there. But I'll have some more fun facts for next time.
All right. And that's at BlakeHolder?
Yeah, BlakeHolder. Yeah,
Yep.
first, last name.
All righty. Ty?
Sometimes I Twitch, ElTrabajo87, ElTrabajo87, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Twitter. You can find me at Tyler Vidales, Vidales.
And Nathaniel the Rab Gingrich.
You can find me at Twitter and Letterboxd. I am at NS Gingrich on there. That is at NSGingrich. On Instagram, you can follow me at Nathaniel G. Nathaniel G92 is my username on there. My name is spelled IEL rather than any other variations.
There we go. And if you want to find me, you can get me on Twitter. I'm at @amschwartzy. Letterboxd, I'm at Aish. That's where you can find our entropy list. That's AYYSH. I'm also twitching with Ty sometimes when he decides to, but a lot more than he is usually.
Play better games.
I play games. Period. You don't ever play with me.
It's because Valorant's not a good game.
Fucking fight. All right.
Hot take.
Thank you guys all for listening to episode number 8 of Hot Takes. Hopefully I did not offend you guys too much.
You did. You definitely did.
Good.
I'm okay.
Good. I'm glad we're okay, Nathaniel. Tyler, I'll have to fight you later.
Oh.
Good luck.
All right. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you guys next week for American Pickle. We'll BRB.
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 America. Ready for another lesson.
Hey.
I am the clap. All right. Everybody good?
Be the clap.
Yep.
See the clap.
The pioneers used to ride these babies for miles.
Squidward is my best friend in the world.
Get some Gatorade going.
Squidward
Ooh,
is my
hydrate.
best friend in the sea.